It's time now for a look at the latest in local news in the news. Day 2 in the Glenn County Courthouse today of motion hearings continuing with testimony from defense witnesses as the defense attorneys in the Ahmaud Arbery murder case are seeking to bring into evidence the past confrontations with law enforcement by the victim. Two of the incidents led to pleading guilty to felony charges. On Wednesday, a Glenn County school police officer testified that he had a confrontation with Ahmaud Arbery. His name, Rodney Ellis. He says he encountered Arbery back in December of 2013, testifying that Arbery brought a gun to a high school basketball game. He eventually was handcuffed at gunpoint by the officer after running away on 2 different occasions. Ellis says they locked eyes, and he testified that at one point he thought, "Lord, please don't let me have to shoot this man." Arbery ultimately pled guilty, was sentenced to 5 years probation for carrying a gun on school property, 1 year probation for obstruction. State objected to the testimony, arguing it's all irrelevant, serves only to smear the victim. Judge Timothy Walmsley will make the final decision after the hearings today. Lead prosecutor in the case is now Linda Dunikowski. She says all this should not be allowed at trial. She says, first of all, in the self-defense case, you cannot claim self-defense if you're the aggressor. She says you can't go out and murder somebody and then claim self-defense. The defense argues that Arbery had a pattern of conduct and behavior that includes acts of theft, crimes, and attempted burglaries, and they say when confronted by people who had some type of authority, his response was to get angry and physically aggressive. The defense also wants to enter into evidence testimony about Arbery's mental illness, saying it explains his actions on the day he was killed. The state also objecting to any of that being allowed in to the courtroom. Again, day 2 of the testimony continues today down at the Glenn County Courthouse. The trial date once again set for October 18th. We'll be back with more news after this word from our sponsor, the commercial messages, so please stay tuned. Wayne County Commissioners met Tuesday afternoon in Courtroom C for a special call meeting to address the ambulance service, or what they say is lack of service at this time. As the last board meeting, EMS Director Richard Johnson made the commissioners aware that there's a shortage of service in the county as far as ambulance service is concerned. He says it's becoming a safety issue. The purpose of Tuesday's meeting was to simply address the issue and come up with solutions. The county took a couple of steps on Tuesday to help with the issue. They moved to go to 2 24-hour full-time ambulances, where currently there's 1 24-hour and 1 12-hour shift. They also are looking to fund the second ambulance for the county. Here were the motions by the chairman and the votes taken at Tuesday's county commissioners meeting.
We made that motion yet, so let's vote on the motion that I have a motion and a second on, which is to increase the pay grades right now with what we got to help us staff the budgets we have. Then I'll go into the second motion.
I need a 1712, and what I'm asking for is 7 steps across the board.
All right, I have a motion, second, no discussion. Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Roberts?
Yes.
Commissioner Thomas?
Yes.
Commissioner Hickox?
Yes.
Commissioner Hires?
Yes.
Commissioner McCreary?
Yes.
All right, now I'll make a motion that we add an additional 24-hour crew, authorize the administrator to add a 24-hour crew for Wayne County EMS with an estimated cost of $230,000 per year.
Second.
Discussion.
If you're adding that number,
It's approximately.
Well, then they're going to be $230,000 for the rest of this year, and it's going to take us some time to get that extra crew on there. We use it part-time, but it'll take us time to get a full staff where we want to be over there. But it's an estimated going forward. That's going to be a hitter. Yes. Net.
Discussion. Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Thomas?
Yes.
Commissioner Hickox?
yes.
Commissioner Hires?
Yes.
Commissioner McCreary?
Yes.
Commissioner Roberts?
Yes. Okay, next item on the agenda.
And again, the next item on the agenda is to go into executive session, discuss personnel and litigation, but after about 20 minutes returned and stated that no action was taken. WIFO talked with Richard Johnson with the EMS at the meeting. He explained that the county has 5 ambulances, but the issue is employees. They're currently advertising for 3 full-time positions. The Golden Isles Ambulance Service is a private company. They also have 1 ambulance in the county, which means there are 6 ambulances in the county total, but they don't have employees to run all the ambulances. John says the issue for the county is that the pay is not competitive with other markets, but he says other counties are dealing with the same issue of employees. He says Liberty County currently has 10 openings in their ambulance service. Commissioners hope this second full-time ambulance will help. They're possibly looking to add a 3rd full-time ambulance, but it has to be funded, has to have employees willing to work, and the pay has to be competitive. Once again, at Tuesday's meeting, they went to 2 full-time ambulances, 24 hours a day, where they were currently at 1 full-time ambulance and 1 12-hour ambulance shift. A reminder, this coming Saturday's Big Bass Jamboree had to be canceled due to low participation. Again, they only had 2 people register, so that event has been canceled. They're still set to have the Wayne County Catfish Tournament set for June 5th and 6th, and the registration for that's taking place at the train depot. Also, you can call the Tourism Board office at 427-3233 or check out the event website at waynetourism.com. But the Wayne County Big Bass Jamboree set for this weekend has been canceled. We'll be back with the couple of final news notes after this word from our sponsor, the commercial messages, so please stay tuned. Final notes of news. Governor Brian Kemp on Wednesday urged Georgians not to hoard gas as state officials attempted to grapple with the shutdown of the Colonial Pipeline, which is the vital supply line that provides fuel to much of our state. On Wednesday, Kemp urged Georgians to remain calm and please do not go out and fill up every 5-gallon can you have, even as a number of gas stations across the state have simply run out of gas. Others are limiting sales. Kemp says obviously people are frustrated by those hoarding the gasoline. He stressed to everyone not to get more than you need. He says get what you need to get your kids to school, to get to work, or to get to a medical appointment, but don't unnecessarily fill up every vehicle you have. Georgia officials have already waived the state gas tax to stem the rising price of gasoline, which has jumped to an average of $2.95 a gallon in the state. That's an increase of about 23 cents from a week ago. Kemp says the state is doing everything in their power to move the fuel here as quickly as possible. He says they just can't control what's happening with the pipeline. And finally, in the news, congratulations to Gray Davis. He won the Big Man on Campus contest last night at the high school auditorium. Gray competed along with 13 other young men at the high school. Gray on his way to University of Georgia after graduation to play rugby for the University of Georgia. Again, Gray Davis, your 2021 Big Man on Campus winner. That's going to do it for the latest in the local news. Sports comes your way in a few minutes. Bob Morgan said have a great day.